Do you know how annoying it is to bleed every single day for 3 years? I feel like for guys, like you just like touch it and they're like, wow, you got slobber all over me. Like this is crazy. If it's dry, I feel like this is a little bit too much. Hi hotties, welcome to the sleepover where I wear a full face of makeup. If you didn't know, this is a series where I asked you to ask me questions on Instagram and I just tell you the real deal, like as your big sis. Everything from questions about growing up, TMI girl talk questions, your first kiss, relationships, you know, getting down and dirty, all that stuff. You guys asked a lot of great questions, so grab a drink, grab a little sweet treat. Today I'm feeling gelato. This is my favorite flavor. I got mango. Cheers. I have nowhere else to put this on. This is kind of risky. We'll see how this goes. Oh my gosh, hotties, guess what I got in the mail today? Bam! You're literally kidding me, right? Like, you're kidding me. Thank you so much for 1 million subscribers again. This is actually surreal. Obviously, this is ours. This is our plaque, okay? I love you so much. We're started off with relationship question. How do I move on from a guy who keeps fucking me over for the last 5 years? No. Ooh, baby girl. I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this, but we accept the love and attention that we think we deserve. And I'm not trying to paint a picture of who you are because obviously, like, I don't know everything, all sides of the story, but in my personal experience, when I used to be in situationships, I was out here just fawning over these dudes that did not give a fuck about me. They did not care. They did not care. I was just like this thing that they could play around with. It was just like a little game for them. That time I felt so tunnel visioned because I just thought that that was the best I could do. Like I thought like, oh, I don't deserve anyone better than this. Like he is so like blah, 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 XYZ. Like he's just perfect. He's just kind of mean to me, but I'll just deal with it. Like, I kind of thought that this behavior was normal. Growing up, we're always taught about like the chase. Like the chase is so fun. Like it's like the best part of like being in a relationship in the beginning. Like you're kind of just fighting over each other, like all that stuff. But this is not what the chase is. The chase is when the feelings are mutual and you guys are kind of like having fun together, like, oh my God, oh my God. But when it's only just one side and he's just kind of fucking with you and you're just like, what the hell? I don't think that's a chase. I think he's just dragging you. When you're starting a relationship or you're just in a relationship period, the feelings need to be reciprocated. And I feel like that's just like the bare minimum of it all. 5 years is an insane amount. Like if you're 20 years old, hottie, that's 1/4 of your life. Like just think about that. Your energy, your presence is so beautiful and it shouldn't be wasted on someone that clearly doesn't care. I'm being firm, big sister, right now because I need you to stand your ground, know your worth, and I believe in you, okay? We can do this. I mean, 5 years is enough. 5 years too long. My advice is to take time for yourself, hang out with your friends, explore new hobbies, experience and like really cherish true self-love, because once you have that and once you have that standard for yourself, like you will not handle being treated like this because you don't deserve that. I've heard from friends that were in situations like this for years and they were like, well, I'm just staying because the dick is bomb. Girl, I promise there's better out there and it's gonna be better for you anyways because he actually cares about you outside of the bedroom. When do you know if it's the right person? Should I be in a relationship with them or just be friends with them? I don't know. Okay, I feel like you don't like really know. Like you don't like really know until you try it, and I think that's what makes, like, life is a gamble, right? And I think that's what makes it fun, but also like really scary. Be for real. Do you like them? Like, do you like them? Or do you like the idea of them? Like, do you like the idea of just being in a relationship? They're your friend, you're kind of like, well, maybe. Or do you like actually have heartfelt conversations with them where you think that they would actually be a really good match and partner with you? Or do you think you want to be in a relationship with them because they're just really hot and you're like, damn, I kind of want a piece of that. But like your conversations are just very surface level and you don't really like know too much about them. I think it's so cool how you can kind of just scope out the relationship and see if you guys are compatible to be romantic or if it's just, you know, perfect as it is as a friendship. Obviously the feelings have to be mutual. We cannot force someone to like us, okay? I know how hard that feels because you're like, oh my God, like I feel like we're perfect together, but then they don't want me and it feels like super weird, but I don't think it has to be that personal. Sometimes staying as friends is what makes the relationship flourish more and last longer. I know, God forbid, like a breakup could be just really detrimental to your friend group or just like your relationship in general. Like maybe you just want to stay friends with them after. It's just really tough out here, and I think that you have to just follow your gut and just be honest with yourself and the other person involved. I'm rooting for you. I feel so overstimulated. Like I've been trying to do curtain bangs lately and I'm like, okay, cute, like I look so cute, but I'm literally freaking out in my head right now because I'm like, I hate when hair touches my face. Suki, you want to say hi? Say hi. Oh, we are the ultimate homebodies. Like we're just being girls together. Like we're just here at the sleepover. Y'all know I would do anything for her. And something that I have to sacrifice is when I feed her wet food, girl, I want to gag. It smells so bad. Thankfully, we have Smalls cat food because it actually doesn't smell bad at all, and it's delivered right to your door and it's packed with protein. Other cat food brands are just mysterious meat with artificial flavoring and names that are too hard to pronounce. Like I don't even know what is in some of this stuff. If that sounds gross, imagine having to eat that every day. Suki's favorite flavor is the beef one. I have the bird one right here. I'm just like throwing it around. The food is high quality and I could actually read and name all of the ingredients in here. It's so cool because Smalls is confident that your cat will love it, that you can try it risk-free. That means that they will refund you if your cat won't eat the food. It's time to make the switch to Smalls. You can use my code Jasmine35 to get 35% off your first order, plus free shipping with the link in my description or this code right here. Say bye. What do I do if my friend is in love with me, but I feel like a bad person for rejecting him? This whole situation can be kind of like uncomfortable because, I mean, you see him as a friend and then suddenly he confesses to you and it's just kind of like, oh, we were supposed to be friends. Like I never thought it was like that. And it's just kind of like, I feel like it's really common for, you know, like boy-girl relationships not to be like super heteronormative right now, but I just know it's super common and it just feels really blindsiding because you're like, did you even become friends with me because you wanted to be my friend, or did you want to just like be in a relationship with me and you like disguised it? It's just kind of like, what was your motive between all of this? First off, you are not responsible for his feelings. And I know that sounds really harsh, but it's not your fault that you're just like so hot and sexy and so nice and awesome that he just like literally fell in love with you. I'm just kidding. You're a kind person and obviously that's why like you feel bad for potentially hurting his feelings. But I think what's really important moving forward is just seeing how he reacts to it. If he's just very like, oh, okay, like sorry if I made you uncomfortable, like I just wanted to express my feelings, which I think is super valid as well, because I think that once someone feels like that, they should tell the other person. I think business can return as normal. I mean, it might be a little bit awkward for the first couple like weeks or something like that, but I think you guys can get through it. But if he somehow gets upset or he starts pressuring you or just starts like being like a fucking weirdo, then he was never your friend in the first place, and you should not feel bad for standing your ground and being honest with yourself. This one is such a silly question, but it's, my boyfriend doesn't care if I poop, fart, burp, or shave, and he still loves me the same. Is he the one? Is he the one for realizing that you're a human being and you do human body things? Okay, I'm not trying to be mean to the person that like sent this question because I love you all. Just know that I'm just being, I don't know, I'm feeling in a really sassy mood today, but I just wanted to answer this because I don't know, I've been seeing so many like things on TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff of like people being like, oh my god, my boyfriend did this for me, like he's so perfect. And I'm like, that's literally the bare minimum. Like he posts you on his story for your birthday. If a dude or your partner is like being weird that you do human things, remind them that you're not like a doll or like some, I don't know. My boyfriend and I fight and break up every single week. Do I still wait for him and work things out or leave? All right, so I think fighting and having arguments is actually very important for relationships because that's how you kind of get to the bottom of it. Like you have to feel comfortable enough with each other to be able to be honest and bicker and find a solution where both of you compromise. I used to be so scared of fighting because I just did not like it. So I would just like bottle everything in and then I would explode one day, or like I would just be like suffering alone, and I don't think that that's fair in a relationship, and I think that your partner deserves to know like what you're going through. But when you think of it like objectively, if you like take yourself out of it and you kind of think of like you see you and your partner together and you think of you're right here and you're kind of like looking down. How is your partner gonna know how you're feeling if you don't tell them, if you don't discuss it with them? They're not mind readers, unfortunately. I feel like that would just be so nice, you know. Sometimes communication is not the easiest thing to do. However, arguments are only productive if actions are in place, if changes are in place, because actions matter. You know, it's a different story when it's just fighting, and then nothing comes out of it. No one changes. You're just like, there's no listening, there's no comprehension. It's just like, oh, I'll be better, like, trust me, like, I'll be better, just, you know, just give me some time. And this is like your 5th conversation about it. It really fucks with you if you are like constantly breaking up and getting back together. You're getting swooned over, you're getting fucked over, you know, all this stuff. Like, I feel like that I would go insane. Obviously, I don't know the whole story, but I think it is very important to put your mental health first and just like your sanity first. And if this is constantly going on, I feel like there's signs that it's just like not working out. Like, there's no like longevity to this. And I think that if you think it's right and you know, like in your heart, because you know the whole situation, leave. Not even for just like romantic relationships like this, but even friendships, I again would just accept the attention and love that I thought I deserved. And I was like, you know what, like, we'll get through this. And you give that person so many chances. And I think that in that other person's brain, when you are constantly accepting this mistreatment and this disrespect, and you know, you keep coming back, they just kind of know that you're just gonna come back and it's fine. Like, they don't have to change anything of themselves. And I don't want to blame you. I don't want this to seem like that. Just practice self-love and just standing your ground and knowing that you don't deserve this. I'm rooting for you. You can get through this. All right, hotties, this is the part where we get down and dirty. I'm gonna answer your TMI questions. The first one is, I'm planning on using a hormonal IUD. Is this the right option? So all birth control is different. There's like the pill, there's the IUD, there's the implant, there's like the patch, there's the shot. I've personally tried the pill and the implant, and the pill I kept forgetting to take and was like, wow, I'm not being a responsible human right now because I would just forget. So I just thought that I would get the implant because it lasts for like 3 years. You don't have to think about it at all. And I thought that it would be perfect because super high protection. I did briefly think about getting the IUD, and then I heard just so many stories about how much it hurts. And I cannot handle that. So props to you, because I know that it's a really good option for a lot of women. I was actually so excited to get the implant because I got it for like the birth control, but also because my periods were so heavy and I thought that I could just help regulate that. Girl, tell me why once I got the implant, I bled every single day. It was just spotting, but do you know how annoying it is to bleed every single day for 3 years? I literally could not handle it anymore, so I got it removed, but I still have a scar right here. All in all, unfortunately, there's no like true way of knowing if something works for you until you actually start trying it. And I know that it's kind of annoying to have this trial and error. Again, the implant worked for so many people and I was so excited, and it did not work for me. So I hope this is your perfect match, but just know that you have a lot of different options as well if this doesn't work for you. Do you recommend waxing or laser hair removal? So every single time I've waxed, I mean, I've only waxed at home. I've done sugar waxing and also the wax strips. I bleed, and I don't know if it's just because I'm doing it wrong, but literally I would bleed and I would get rash. But I just started doing laser hair removal on my armpits right here, and it's actually been really nice. I've done 3 sessions now, and honestly, like, it takes like 3 weeks for my armpit hair to grow back, and I'm like, that is so nice, because it's so annoying. Like, after you shave, like, I'm so smooth, like, this is so nice. The next morning, girl, stubble, and I just do not like that look for me. It is important to note that laser is a pretty long process because you could only get an appointment once a month. I do also highly recommend going on Groupon or just like finding a like local small business to do your laser for you, because it would be way more affordable, and sometimes it's even better than other people. Okay, I know those first 2 questions were kind of tame, but we're going in right now. How to reach the O quicker with having sex with your partner. Also tips on finishing. I've never finished and I think there's something wrong with me. Okay, so even how like you frame this question of like, how do I reach it quicker? I think that you're really in your head, and I think that's like the biggest thing, because at least for us, like, I feel like for guys, like, you just like touch it and they're like, But for us, it's very like emotional and it's very, you know, in our head, at least for me and like the girlies that I talk about with this. I think it's because in media, we're always taught to like please the man. Like we're just so lucky that a man likes us. And of course we know that's not true, but when something is just drilled into your brain for so long, like you can't be mad at yourself for being in your head about it, because like it's just really annoying and the patriarchy sucks. I do think a big thing of this is also communication, just being completely honest and like truthful to your partner, to be like, hey, like I like it when it's like this, like, and I don't really prefer this. Kind of communicate it to them. They can work on getting you there too. At least for me, the second I think about it, it's not happening. Like it's not happening because I'm just so stressed out the whole time. You know, getting comfortable with yourself, by yourself, so you know what you like and you can communicate that. And I think that's so cool and awesome. How do I tell a guy I don't want to swallow? Okay, so first of all, you're not obligated to do something that you don't want to do, obviously. Again, I think we were raised with this pressure that intimate things were only for men, and I think that boys always think that this deed is only for them. Nar babe, it takes two to tango. Wait, was that kind of good? Don't lie to me. Wait, actually do lie to me if you're gonna be mean. Your comfortability is just as important as his. Maybe when you're like cuddling or chilling or something, you can kindly bring up like, hey, so I do like doing this with you, but I just don't really like swallowing. I definitely just made that super awkward, but I know that you will be more eloquent than me. And if he's a normal human being, if he's a true mature man, he will respect you. He will respect your boundaries. He will respect what you like to do. And if he responds in a really negative or just kind of like, well, you should anyways because I like it, it's very telling on their response if they actually view you as a partner and someone that they care about versus this like plaything that they just kind of like hang around with, you know? Like obviously they only care about themselves. How do I start using a tampon? I'm struggling. Okay, so I was struggling so much too because sex ed did not teach us anything. I did not know how to put one in. I was so scared the first time. But my tip is to start small. I mean, honestly, I have a super heavy flow, so girl, I went in first with a super plus. That is wild. No, I do not recommend that. Even if you have a super heavy flow, go in with a like small or regular one first, just to make sure you know how to use it. You might have to change it out in an hour, but as you're just starting to learn this, it's way better for it to like come out when there's like full of blood, because if it's dry, you do not want to take that out. Like that is so bad. But you also don't want to leave it in for like more than 8 hours because there's like a lot of risks with that. So at least for me, I would rather go for something that has like a lighter absorbency to make sure that it comes out smoothly, because again, when it's dry, oh, that is pain that you have never experienced before. Okay, this is also like super TMI, but you know, when you are bleeding, it's like a lubricant. It is slippery down there. So honestly, it just acts like it just kind of like slips up there. Making sure you're inserting it at like the correct angle. Don't like go like super straight up, because that's not how your body is. Like it's kind of like curved. Like you'll find out. Just go slow. If it hurts too bad, don't force yourself to do it. Okay, it's okay. Ooh, how to kiss. LMFAO, I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Okay, not to toot my own horn or pat myself on the back, but I have been complimented. And I'm like, maybe it's because I have like big lips that it's kind of easier for me. But honestly, I kind of like to just let the other person take the lead. I feel like that's just what I prefer, especially when I was just like a little bit more confused. I didn't really know what was going on. The biggest thing, you don't want to go in with your mouth open. Just go in like gently, mouth closed. Don't really want to put this person under the bus, but I was someone's first kiss and they went in mouth wide open and I was like, you got slobber all over me. Like, this is crazy. It's not their fault. I taught them how to do it. But basically, yeah, close your mouth. It just goes slow, kind of move it around. And then like after, you know, it's been kind of going on for a while, then you can go in with I feel like this is kind of crazy. Like, I feel like this is a little bit too much. I say that as I've literally talked about worse things, but yeah, just then you can go with tongue. Like, don't go too fast, don't go too slow. Like, you'll see the rhythm. Like, don't be too stressed out about it, because if you're tense, like, it kind of shows and you're not gonna enjoy it. And that's the whole point of this whole thing. Honestly, I feel like it's kind of hard to do it wrong. I think you might just be a little bit hypercritical of yourself because it is something new. Practice makes perfect. What underwear do you use that doesn't show in tight pants or skirts or dresses and stuff like that? Obviously, a thong is like the most obvious answer, but I hate thongs. I don't know how y'all do it. I cannot stand walking around, being along my day, and I feel like I have a damn wedgie. Like, no. I hate them, so I always wear like seamless undies, super smooth, and it kind of covers like a good amount of your butt so you don't feel like you have a wedgie. There's also ones with like a cheeky fit, and it has like lace, like really thin lace outlining it, and I feel like that doesn't show that much. There's tons at Victoria's Secret, Uniqlo, probably Amazon, stuff like that. Also going for like a nude or like skin colored one I think is the best bet because it won't show like if the like bottom is kind of like sheer or something like that. Moving on to growing up and friendships. How do I deal with being left out from my friends? I have so much personal experience from this, and it's really heartbreaking because it's like, why am I being left out? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, how can I fix this? And then once you try to bring it up, they don't say anything, and it just feels like you're going insane when you know that you're not going insane. I always think about it because I used to be like in a trio friendship, and whenever we walking like on the sidewalk or like in a walkway, it would just be like the two of them and I would have to be in the back. And it was just like, why am I in the back? Like, I know we could all fit. At the end of the day, your friends should be friends, and friends don't leave each other out. And I'm not saying that the whole friend group has to hang out all the time. Like, you know, sometimes you have like little duos or trios or whatever that just kind of get along better, or just like there's certain circumstances where, you know, it should just be a smaller group. And I don't think that's necessarily like leaving out if it's not secretive, because I remember like I used to like be hanging out with my friends, and then they would like kind of go off into the corner, and then I would like hear them and they would have a sleepover afterwards, and then I wouldn't have been invited. And I feel like that's so rude to do that in front of people that are not invited. I think that's something that you discuss prior, or at least try to make it more of a secret, because I can hear you loud and clear. It's important to surround yourself with people that value you and like give the same love that you give them, because I feel like that's the bare minimum. That's what makes a friendship a friendship. Lots of people ask this, and this made me so excited, but also really old, because what do you mean you guys are just starting college? Like, I graduated 2 years ago already, but it says I'm going to college soon and I don't know anything there or anyone. Advice? It's terrifying, right? Like, one day you are in your high school with friends that you have grown up with for years. You're living in your parents' home, and then the next you're in this dorm with strangers. Like, literally, you know no one at the school, and it feels like your life did a 180, which it kind of did. To be honest, I think that's the beauty of college, because guess what? No one knows what's going on. I met my roommate, future best friend, on Facebook. Girl, we met on Facebook, roommate. Like, we were just like looking for roommates. I met my other roommates on the day of, when we were like, hey, I guess we're gonna be living together for the next year. I had only toured campus once during orientation, and during the first day of school, I didn't know where my classes were. So I think I recommend the day before actually scoping around your campus, physically walking to your classes so you don't actually get lost or be late on your first day. It really eases the first day jitters, and I think that you can start getting more comfortable. Again, no one knows anything. Like, at this point, we're like, what, 17, 18? We know nothing. I think it's because since everyone is so out of their comfort zone, they're like more receptive to making friends and just being more outgoing, just because like everyone's kind of lonely. That's kind of sounds like really sad, but I think it's a really good way to make new friends. And I think that's so cool, like in college, how you can meet people from different walks of life, different cities, different countries. I'm so happy for my hotties that are starting college soon. I'm rooting for you. Like, you can do this. If you're going to college, if you're in college right now, comment down your major or like your favorite thing about school, because I miss school so much. I miss the structure. Please enjoy like your time there. I know it's gonna be like a really big learning curve for y'all, but I promise it's gonna be like so worth it. I have a couple more college questions. So it's how to stop being insecure when living with new people, when moving into college for the first time, like how you get ready, brush your teeth, do your routine. Oh my gosh, I feel this so hard, because the first few months when I was living with roommates, I felt like I was in a reality TV show. Like, I felt like there was cameras everywhere because they were just like staring at me. Like, I felt like that. They were not, but I felt like I was just being watched like a hawk, and I thought that everything that I did did was weird. I don't know if this was a blessing or a curse, but for my first year, we had communal bathrooms. So the whole floor would use the same bathroom. And so we'd all brush our teeth together. We would all shower. No, we wouldn't shower together, but you know what I mean? Like the showers were in a separate place. I guess what I'm trying to say is that no one cares. And I don't even like want to say that in a mean way, but while you're thinking about like, oh my God, if what I'm doing is weird, like they're gonna think I'm so weird, they're thinking about that about themselves. So they have no time to think about what you're doing. People don't care about you as much as they care about themselves. How do you know what to do after college? I'm so lost. Obviously I'm a YouTuber, so I'm lost, dude. I'm just kidding. Seriously, when we're just like out of college, we're still so young. We have no idea what we want to do. I feel like when I was younger, I always thought that like once you graduated from college, you were so adult. Like you were such a real like, wow, like you're so old. Like not in a bad way, but you're like, wow, you really know, like you really have your shit together. The second I graduated college, and all of my friends too were like, what are we gonna do with our lives? And I don't blame us for that, because for our entire lives we've had this structure, we've had the normal like school schedule, and I feel like we're just kind of thrown into the real world, like kind of figure out what to do, figure out how to do your taxes because we're not going to teach you, figure out how to get a job because literally the job market is ass. Have fun. For those in college right now, I really recommend setting yourself up with good internships. While you're in school, you're like, no, like I'll just figure it out later, like I'll find a job later. I think it is so important to get the experience, get those connections, you know, make a LinkedIn, get those friends, because honestly it sucks right now. It's really the people that you know that could help you get a job or get you where you want to be in life than like your actual qualifications. How can I start to just admit things I like without being scared of what others might think? This one really hit home because I used to really hide myself. Like I was like a little hermit crab. I would never allow myself to actually show how I felt. I thought my opinions didn't matter. I thought that people would just dismiss it. As women, we are taught to accommodate others. We have to make people comfortable. We can't be too difficult or hard to work with. So in turn, we kind of hide ourselves because I mean, we've always just been met with negativity or just kind of backlash. I hate to say it, but people are always gonna have shit to say about you, so why should you give a shit about what they say? I know it's super hard. I think it's just starting slow, being like, I don't know, people are ordering pizza and they're like, oh, what do you want? And you kind of just say cheese. This is such a weird example, but you just say cheese because you don't want to be like too over the top. No, girl, if you want your pineapple on your pizza, you voice your opinion. And if they are mean about it, they can come up to me because I love pineapple on pizza, but they can accommodate to you. Another huge thing is that like I started liking K-pop, and I think that that was something I was kind of like nervous to talk about just because like there's so much discourse between like Southeast Asians liking East Asian media, which I think is just a topic for another time because what are you even saying? This is so weird. But I feel like since I've been so honest with like my interests, I have made so many new friends. I've been relating to a lot of you guys about, you know, like our biases, all that stuff, and I think that's so fun. So again, people are always gonna have their shit to say, so why do you have to give a shit? What's the most embarrassing thing you've done drunk? And okay, I wish I can truly answer this question because I don't think I've ever done really anything crazy. Not that I remember, at least. This is such a weird thing to be like jealous about, but when people have like really funny drunk stories, I'm like, damn, I wish I had something to say. Like, I wish I can contribute to this. But for me, when I drink too much, I just throw up and then I sleep. If you have a funny or just like a really embarrassing drunk story, like please tell me in the comments. I would love to know. I would just like a little giggle. Okay, it's time to go to bed. The sleepover is over. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If I answered your question, I hope that I helped. I feel like I was really rambling a lot in this video, but I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, and I'll see you next time. I love you so much. I can't wait to do the next one. I have so many out. A lot of questions that I got for this episode were actually answered in past girl talk, so you guys can marathon that if you want to get a little refresher. I can't wait to hang out with you again, and I'll see you next time. I love you so much. Bye.
Drip, drip, confess. Give you a kiss, I'll be okay. Drip, drip, lemonade.